Good morning, everybody. Today's show is about what we can do to improve our eBay store, and the prompt is going to be what would be helpful for your store. So I was just thinking about the way that social media works and the way that YouTube works and the media works is whatever is the most salacious or polarizing goes all the way to the top. So I was just thinking we could fix that if all of a sudden the things that were ranked all the way to the top were the things that were the most helpful. So because if everyone in the world competed on what was the most helpful, then all the content would be helpful instead of what's the most polarizing, right? Because it just needs to be. So if they paid you the most, if you actually were the most helpful, then that would be the best. So this is what I'm going to do to be the most helpful for me, since I have so many people asking me questions about how to do this. I'm going to set up the two fastest ways to do this, I think: a tethered camera and a cell phone. Those are the two ways to do this, I think, as far as listing goes. And I want everyone in the group to get to the point where they're listing in 4 minutes or less, really, really fast at listing. Everyone in this group being a pro lister, that's key. So I was thinking about Scott and some other people were talking about their processes. And what I'd like to do is set up a class where we all list at the same time, maybe even on one of these calls, then just physically do it. And then we can see where the problems are. Because I think if we just do that a few times, we'll flush out all the things that are slow. We'll find out how to do it fast. Then, because if everyone in the group can list 15, 20 items an hour, then you're like killing it. All you can you can then order low margin stuff on the internet and still kill it if you can list quickly. It's the problem, I think, of finding inventory and then listing it quickly. Those are the two things. So I'm going to set up both. I do think tethering and a computer with a fast internet will be the fastest. Um, so let's start with Jared. Jared, what would be helpful in your eBay business if you had it?
Uh, it'd definitely be helpful to do basically a class and list and you find out where the flaws are. I think that'd help a bunch. Just being solo, not having anybody here. I think a lot of times it slide through the cracks. So I'm trying some pricing strategies. I'm still refining. I'm on my second inventory strategy, trying to number out the inventory stuff I've been working on. So I'm trying a pricing strategy too. So I'm going down that route, and then hopefully, we set that class up. I'd like to be able to list a lot faster too.
Yeah, I think that might be huge for everyone. Just find out what's quick, and then I think shipping too would be fast too. I figure out what's up with shipping to make sure those are quick, and then after we have a process for everyone to list quickly, then we just talk about sourcing every day. How do we get the best stuff into our store? Because we're all pro at listing, and yeah, that's huge. So let's go with Don. Don, good morning. What would be helpful in your eBay business?
Good morning. Yeah, right now, what's helpful is just having a staging area at my storage unit. That's the only thing I'm focused on at the moment. So I got my new shelves, um, and I'm going to be listing there. As far as my listing speed, I'm okay with it. I don't, because I'm not going to sit. I don't have 4 hours to just list myself, so I list in batches. I'm not a full timer, so but I'm listing some of these things that you're saying. If I were to do this full time, some things might be changing with my regular job. So there's a possibility that full time could be on the horizon. So that's kind of cool to think about. But yesterday I was talking about getting your giant light box, and I actually forgot to click down the link. So if you get a chance
Cool.
to relink that.
I just put it in there. It's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm going to be using that. I got a rolling cart to do my video or my audio equipment at my storage unit. So just I can. I'm losing a stage of doing that stuff at home and then hauling it over there. So that's something that'll improve my listing speed. But I'm going to continue to do with my phone. I do it right away, save it as a draft, and then I have a stack of drafts, and then I list on the weekend from my drafts when I'm in a comfortable spot at the beach house. So that's my process. Not built for speed, but it's convenient for my lifestyle.
I like that because some people, especially parents, don't have the luxury of like long periods of uninterrupted time. So it makes sense to take pictures and then do it at a different spot. Great. Let's go with Ed. Ed, what would be helpful in your business?
Um, the table behind me is a storage table, and like Don was saying, turn that back into a a staging table. Like basically, at the end of the day, set that up for the next day. And I think the step after that would be to rearrange my office so that it's more like an assembly line. You know, I mean, there's a lot of us that don't do that right, but everything should go in a kind of continuous pattern, like probably if you're right-handed from left to right around the room.
Sorry, I was on mute. So you're right-handed?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think from left to right would make the most sense. That
Right.
let me think here. Do
When
you go ahead?
When I had a machine shop,
Yeah.
it was really repetitive work, and it's very easy to lose track of for the employees of what they were doing. So I made everyone operate everything left to right all the time.
Yeah.
And so everything had a continuous flow. It was basically a clockwise room.
Let's see. Yeah, and I think that plus reducing the number of steps you take,
Right.
that's huge too. If you can have, I think I can do everything without moving my feet at all. So
That's fantastic.
Dana in the chat is talking about measurements, and that messes up her flow. And so I like this thought because for me, since I don't flat lay, I don't want to take pictures of the measurements. So I'm doing the dry erase board, and I just moved it from the left side to the right side. So my process is I put the clothing item on here, or I set the object on the table, one of those two things. The tape measure sits on top of my dry erase board, which is on my right. I take the tape measure off, length, width, whatever. I write it down on the dry erase board. I have just one big erase board with different sections of it for different types of items. I take a picture of that measurement as the last photo, and that way I don't have to. And then when that's done and I put the item away, when I start the new item, I erase it. So I don't have to take a picture of the measurement. I think it might be faster to write. And it's also less space. So it depends on how you do. But left or right is huge. So right now my process is I'm going to stack up all the clothes on the left, or if they're nicer clothing, I'm rolling them in on a Z rack. And if I was doing hard goods, I would roll them in on a cart to my left, put them up there, put them on a cart to the right, and then roll it. Or you could use the same cart. But I think 2 carts would be ideal. And then you just roll it back to wherever it needs to live after.
I think if I were to draw my process out on a piece of paper, like bird's eye view, I think it would be pretty obvious that I need some improvements. We could probably all benefit from that, like draw it out, how it moves around the room.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone should definitely draw it out. At least list out what you do.
Chris, do you think you'd lose anything by not putting the measurements in your pictures?
Yes.
I know you've talked highly
Yeah.
about that.
Definitely. Because what I would like to do is make a perfect listing so there's no questions. Like I love the like when things are going well, it's quiet and like things like when people are like, hey, what are the measurements for this? What are the measurements for that? It slows you up. You've got to be interrupted and answer them. And then you get frustrated because sometimes you answer and they don't buy. But if you just provide it from the beginning, they don't do that. It's like I heard the saying, they say happy wife, happy life, but they also say like happy wife, quiet life. Because if you just do it right, there's nothing to complain about. So I'm trying to eliminate the honey-do list. So there is no honey-do list. I'm trying to knock that out as soon as I wake up in the weekend. I want that guy. I don't want that list. So that's like when things are operating smoothly. Like I just put in my ad for my lister, my new ad that you can listen to music. I have I don't if they're asking me questions every 2 seconds, that's not how it's supposed to work. Set it up so that it's an enjoyable. They can go in there, turn on a podcast, and knock out listings. So that's the. That being said, it is good to encourage some questions, but I don't know. I would just like to eliminate the questions on the customer service. Once your store starts getting bigger, it's impossible to answer customer service. That's the reason why. But I think it prevents returns too, because used items sometimes change in shape. So I put both in the title. This is a size, for example, I have a 3XL Eileen Fisher that for some reason measures a size medium. Right. So I just put in the title, this measures, I don't know why, but it's not a 3XL. The tag says but Eileen Fisher 3XL measures size medium. And then read in all capitals. So, and then the lady still asked, "Are you sure? Because I'm a size medium. I just want to make sure this will fit." But that's why measurements helps a lot too. Another thing that you could do is on the. So I was thinking about, they have those light boxes that are like the theater ones that say like "Welcome to my man cave." Those little light up boxes. I was thinking of doing measurements that way, and then putting up the actual numbers so it looks a little fancier. But that's way slower than just writing it and erasing it. So that's not
Hey, Chris,
faster. Go ahead.
I noticed someone used the condition field to put measurements in, and it stands out. I don't know. I didn't check
Yeah,
it
I
on
like
mobile,
that.
but it really stood out on the computer. Like right away they just put excellent condition and then the measurements.
I like that a lot. There's no because people don't scroll to the bottom. They don't read the description, right? So that's why I like a picture of the measurements too. And if you put the pictures and the measurements, you can say in that description, review all photos to see measurements. That also stands out, or measurements in photos.
I don't think people look at all the photos though. You'd have to put that photo earlier. If it's the last to 12, I don't think they're going to see it, because I've had a bunch of times where people, and my store's not even that big,
That's a
where
good point.
people aren't seeing that.
Maybe the second photo.
Yeah, that you might have to try something like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. The second photo.
So somebody, this is popped up a lot. Someone in the chat's asking about drop shipping. So in this group, there are people who drop ship. Drop shippers, and from my experience, are usually like people in the shadows with their hoodie on, and they don't reveal their identity, and they're like the secret dark world resellers. So there are drop sellers in this group that act the same way. They're not in the public. They never share what they sell. They don't share how they do it. We have a gentleman in the group with 20 VAs that does like $20,000 to $40,000 a day in sales, all drop shipping. And he's really interesting to talk to. I do private consulting with him separately, but I have never seen a drop shipping group like this because everybody is so secretive. So all the drop shipping people I talk to are just like secret shadowy people, which is fine. It's just like for some reason it's not like and it's also not favored by the user agreement on eBay. Not supposed to drop ship unless it's a actual authorized company. Like if you were a car parts seller, there's no way you could stock 100,000 parts. You would be drop shipping, but it would be from a automotive warehouse. So plenty of people drop ship. I do think it works. Um, so how I would, yeah, it's just that's how I approach drop shipping. I think everyone could be drop shipping right now. There's going to be shortages of stuff because right now we have an election. I assume whoever gets elected will do something that will cause a shortage of something. That's guaranteed. So everyone be paying attention. There's nothing wrong with drop shipping something that, like, for example, generators are going to be, people are going to need those. We're going to have a shortage of PPE again, always, right? It's about to get cold. It hasn't been cold yet. Flu is supposed to move faster during the cold when everybody's inside. So here they have reopened everything. So I imagine all that stuff is going to be important. So everyone pay attention. Um, let's go with Scott. Scott, what would be helpful for your business?
Well, I just received it today, and I'm gonna work on it today. Is my tethered cord? My jerk stop is here, so I did order a laptop. It was only like $39 for a laptop cart, so I can move that around as well with the with the camera laptop, so I can set everything there off on the side. Um, Excited about making my listings much faster, Chris. Very excited.
Yeah, I think I'm so excited to like literally do a listing session, have everybody show up, look at everyone's process, and see how we can make it quick. And I know that like the big shops like BHFO, they do 60 sets of pictures an hour. That's really, I mean, that's 1 minute an item. That's really ridiculously fast. But it's not one person. It's like a team. So I don't know if that's even faster than one person doing 15, you know. And they only do front back for clothing. They don't do they don't do any, they don't do measurements or close-up pictures. So that's
Oh,
interesting, right? So you
yeah.
don't have to. And they at one point were the largest clothing seller, and they were putting up 5,000 new listings a day. So there's something to be said about that. But they also had 10% returns. So we're talking about 500 returns a day. Like, well, that's like bonkers. So, most mom and pop sellers like us do not have 10% returns because there's more detail in everything that we do. Denise, can you chat?
Good morning. Hi,
Morning.
everyone. Yeah, I
What
can chat. I'm
what would be
sorry.
helpful? No worries.
Um, I am this morning racing around because I've got appointments all day, but I'm trying to still list. Um, Trying to still work on getting the 20 a day. I've been suffering this week because I'm running around. But the idea of getting stuff organized and getting a routine sounds great. I kind of feel like my death pile's coming in at me everywhere. And I do this at home. My storage units are used just for storage. I probably have a lifetime of stuff to list.
Not until we have this system in place, then you're going to be out of stuff.
Okay,
Hopefully.
good.
But yeah, that's exciting too. For the people who have a lot of stuff, I think if you the skill that you need is just to be an expert lister.
Yes, that's
Um,
right.
and people love doing things that they're good at. So let's just make you into a pro, and then you won't have a lifetime of stuff. I'm excited
Thank
to
you.
see that. I want to see this, like, how they have those hoarder interventions. I would love to see a reseller intervention, and like all of us show up at somebody's house, everyone lists in their store, and in 8 hours we list their entire store. That would be epic.
Well, my family calls me the organized hoarder.
Organized hoarder. Let's go with Anthony. Anthony, you have a question about listing?
Yeah, as a new on the eBay lister, I just want to know that if I upload some pictures with the listing, and again I have to do the redo the picture, is it gonna affect my listing?
If you redo no, it's not.
It's not, right?
No.
Okay, if I want to make more attractable of the picture, because for the listing I right now I didn't use the Lightroom, but now I have the Lightroom. If I compose on the Lightroom and I want to put the picture in the listing, it will not affect my listing, right?
No, it will
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Another thing that helps your ranking is having more photos. I think everybody knows that, but I don't mind putting 12 photos of pictures. It's only a few seconds longer to take all the pictures of all the
Yeah.
details, all the features.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anthony, what would be helpful for your store?
Right now, I'm doing all of myself, but I'm aiding my wife to do the short out all the samples and to take the picture, and I myself do the listing and researching of the pricing and everything. But my wife is helping me, and she is getting involved by this week. I think it will help me that much.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go with Sean. Sean, good morning. What would be helpful in your business?
I'm working on improving. So I'm just looking where I list, just where I photograph. I'm working on trying to get faster. And it's like you were saying, it's just the little things that make it faster. So um, I was moving too far away my computer from where I'm listing.
Yep.
And like I said last week, I was sitting down, and I kind of kept doing that. Um, but today I just moved my screen, and it tilts. So I was able to tilt it up, and I moved my keyboard over, and a couple other little changes like that. And it went faster, So even if it's just one more item an hour, like that's worth it. Cause I'm time blocking between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. every day. And so whether I've been getting 20 done, so just 5 an hour, but that's not completed all the way through. That's just photographing. I do the photos. I set up the titles. They're not researched though. I mean, they're just like what I know for a title. So they're started, and then it's added to this spreadsheet. And then I also weigh the item and take a photo of the weight, so that we don't use buckets for shipping. We charge for shipping based on what the actual weight is. So we do the calculated shipping every time. So I just take a photo of it. That way my wife she doesn't have to touch the item anymore. So she's finalizing listings, but at the same time, like if we ever switch to a VA, like it's all there, the measurements. And I also use the dry erase board. So everything's there that would be needed. There's already a fairly optimized title. Now, if my wife knows that item better than me, she may further research it. But like if it's something I've dealt with before, that the title should be good. And moving that closer, I'm also getting that. I think that's where it was really slow. Like I would have to scroll back in the photos to find the sizes and the measurement, because I'd already have it packaged up. But now that I move it closer, as I'm looking at the item, I can then pop over and type the title, so that's saving, I don't know, 30 seconds. And I swear I lose 30 seconds just sitting in a chair. I just zone out for, like when you get on an elevator, you just zone out. If I sit in this is like comfortable chair. If I sit in this chair, I just like lose 30 seconds. And then I'm tempted to just check eBay. Like, does someone respond to me? So,
Yeah.
but I'm still standing. Like I cut all that out, and like this whole thing is feeling more like a morning work. I mean, a 4-hour morning workout, but it's not an intense workout, but it feels kind of like a workout. Like if you don't sit down and you're standing and you're moving, you're grabbing an item, and it's a bit of a workout, so, well, it's physical, at least it's physical work, really, it's not really mental work,
You could wear a weight vest.
That's funny. I was thinking maybe I could roll into somehow because I don't think I can get up even earlier to work out, but maybe I could work out right after it, because it'd be work 4 hours, then we have the meeting, there's an hour, then work out, then go to the day job. I might start doing something like that so it gets done every day, because I've cut working out. Like I'm just randomly playing basketball, but I'm not working out, and that's not good long term. You can get away with that for a couple of weeks, but
How tall are
not
you?
forever. 6 foot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not tall, but
Ball is awesome.
I love basketball, man. But even at my age, I'm mid-40s, but I still like to play. I played against teenagers. I was playing in the dark the other night. Like literally, we turned on the headlights. I was the only old dude out there.
Well,
All
that's
these high
great.
school kids.
That's good. 40, mid-40s is not old. So get in, there's like there's, especially here, there's old, I would say like maybe 60s for basketball. That's old. But there's
Yeah.
60-year-olds that can ball. So, I mean, it's just.
Or shoot, or can still, get their shots up. And
That's
it
important.
shows more on defense, though. If someone's quicker than you, it shows.
This is good to remind everyone that, like, don't forget about being physically active when you're running your eBay store. When I first started this, I didn't do anything but work. and took a while to get some balance back in, but it slows you down, not having the energy, not being as sharp. You know, a lot of the people who, like, if you look at the most productive people in the world, almost all of them are very active because you need
Yeah.
that. So like if, for example, you mentioned the 30-second lapses. If you were trying, this is, I mean, not everyone in the group needs to do this, but if you were trying to set a record, you wouldn't fall asleep. That would be the only way to like really be on it. Be like, okay, today I'm going to do one more than yesterday. But you
Yeah.
have to
If
really
you're
be on it.
insane, you could just do that one day, just 24-hour listing, see how much you could do.
I thought about that. Like, just how many items can I list in 24 hours straight? I don't know.
That would be a YouTube video, like,
It would be.
speed it up, film yourself.
Yeah. I'll try 8 hours and see what happens. Because if everyone in the group could do 8 hours of listing and do 100, then, you know, if you're doing $10 an item, that's your $1,000 income in one day. The rest of the week, look for your
Yeah.
100 items. You know,
Or get them inbound, right?
get them inbound. Let's go, Tiana. Tiana, good morning.
Thanks.
Good morning.
What would be helpful?
Yes, of course I'm not on eBay, but this still works for everybody. I'm on
Yeah.
Posh. Like everyone's saying, set yourself up the evening or the day before. So if my goal for that day is to list 15, I set out all 15 items. They're set and ready to go. I'm not pulling them off what I call my life pile. Everybody else calls it their death pile,
Mhm.
because then I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything. Even if I pull 15 from that pile, the pile doesn't get any smaller. But if I set them to the side in a separate area and then photograph them, I can see, oh, I only have 2 left, only have 3 left. Yes, I'm done. And so I feel accomplished for that day. So I set everything up the night before, and then I just get up early and knock it out. And that's also another thing. Like if you're running out of time or you can't get 15 done, then wake up an hour early and get it done, because this is your business. If you don't do it, no one else is going to.
That's true. Somebody in the chat on YouTube mentioned flipping stuff at Costco. I flip stuff at Costco. Like this blanket, this is the Pendleton blanket that they're I think they're $25 on at Costco, and they sell for 80 on Poshmark. Right. So this is one of those things that you would join all those groups. Like people are talking about, should I join these buying groups? It's like a no-brainer because okay, let's say you spend $100 on 5 groups. That's a lot. That's $1,200 a year. But if you're in the group half an hour a day, you can look at stuff like this Pendleton blanket. This one, this is insane. So I heard about this, right? And then I went to a liquidation house where they sell returns. 5 of these blankets. So they had 5 of these ones, and then they had 10 of the uglier ones. So here's the thing. You might hear on a YouTube video, oh, get the Pendleton blanket. You go to Costco, you buy the wrong one. The one that doesn't flip. This colorful one is the one that flips for $80. The one that's just a plain color doesn't sell at all. So you have to pay attention to the different trends. But I saw somebody last year sell 1,500 units of avocado mayonnaise, like 1,500 units at Costco. And they're like, it had some ridiculous rank, and they were making like only $1 or $2 per bottle, but like Costco didn't have a limit on it. You just get as many as you want, and you would have to pack it well because maybe the jar was, if the jar was glass, that would, I don't know if I would do that, but if it was a plastic jar, I might go crazy. Also, one more thought with that is, here's a good example: coconut water, right? It's one of the highest selling grocery items. You could go home with a case of coconut water and bundle it into 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 12, whatever the different combinations of coconut water that fit in the flat rate envelopes, and compete, because people are either buying it by the case, or I'm sure it's like $10 for one. And people sell combinations like this. You could be creative. Being a reseller, you got to think outside the box and see what's available. And if you are the only person selling a 9-pack of ketchup, you're going to not have to compete with people. And some person that's running a hot dog stand is going to be super grateful that you did that. So, I mean, think about being creative. Costco, Sam's, grocery outlet is fantastic because they're selling stuff that's 90% up that's going to expire. You can't sell it on Amazon, but you can on eBay. So Oreos, yeah. So it's be creative. Andrew had also mentioned having a stand-up desk. I think it's a game changer. Stand-up desks are great. I don't just being comfortable where you work is huge, because if you don't like working, if you're not comfortable, you're not going to work there very long. People do things that they love to do and are comfortable and easy. That's why, like, on Instagram, right, the story, you used to be able to tap and go to the next story. TikTok doesn't even wait for you to tap. It just goes straight to the next thing. That's how lazy people are. You can't even use your finger to go to the next story. It's just doing it for you. And you open up TikTok, it plays the first video. That's why it's so viral, because they've eliminated all the friction. Imagine if, like, you put your phone in your car, you would never check it. It's too much work to go out to your car every single time and check your phone. You would just work. So increase the friction for things that you don't want to do. Decrease the friction for the things you want to do. This is like from that book, Atomic Habits, which is we should probably read it regularly. Sally, can you chat?
Yes, Chris, good morning. How you doing?
What's up? What would be helpful in your business?
Okay, I'm sitting here trying to list. I have so many different items that are different from each other. So the things that I'm trying to improve is everything that's kind of similar that I can list and put it all back in that same spot so I know where it is. That's what I'm kind of working on doing. And also, I have to do something with the, what is it, the inventory. So that way everything that I kind of listed. I know where it is. Go get it. But have like the sheet. I know that you created something, but I just don't know how to use it. Maybe you can have a class on that.
Yep.
So that way I'll know how to use it and put into effect. But right about now, I'm just doing the pen and paper. Like, okay, this sold. This is what I paid for it, and what have you. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I'm gonna do it every week. I think a listing session of everyone show up and actually list, and then we'll
Yes.
see what the kind of the processes look like, and then we'll do an hour, and no one will fall asleep or zone out, because we'll have some kind of competition, and we'll just see what, you can set your own PR.
Oh, okay, so I know that you created a program where
Yep.
that you kind of like doing the inventory, so we'll be using that as well.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, all the stuff for the different programming shortcuts, the macros or whatever that do things for you automatically. That's all interesting to me. I I I like the idea of programming. If anybody's listening to this and they're young, if you're under 40, I consider you super young, and then 70 is the new 30. Because I love the first story, because there's some older people who watch my channel. I just want to encourage you guys. Like, when I used to work for Lexus, I sold a 72-year-old lady a 450 horsepower car. Awesome car, sports car, 72. She came in, she bought it red. She paired her own phone. Like, she was technologically solid. She just put the work in and learned how to do it. And she's at 72. She bought a Lexus ISF, which is really fun. Then she said, "I'll see you in 10 years," because I get a new car every 10 years. So I'm like, this lady is a boss. I love it. So it's not an age thing. You can get into it. But she uh I forgot what she had some really cool stories, but she's like, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out in style. So it was just awesome selling a red sports car to a 72-year-old lady, and she paired her own phone and knew everything about the car, and that's just so cool.
Well, the new thing that actually happened, I was supposed to ship my items the way I always do,
Yeah,
USPS, and there was a $3 price difference, and I just wasn't going to unpack that box, so I had to stick it in a bag, and I actually saved money by shipping FedEx for the first time. I found a authorized FedEx dealer or what have you, so they scanned it, and I was able to do what I normally do, which is ship that same day. So they taught me at the place about DHL and UPS, and set up an account and get my materials and different things like that. So that way I have a better choice of choosing whatever is the less expensive way of shipping my items.
that's great. Yeah, everyone should learn about Smart Post and Sure Post, UPS Ground. That's going to help a lot because you want to choose the cheapest way to ship. That's a great tip. Let's go with Brian. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. I was just thinking what you were talking about, the everybody list format once a week, and it made me think when I was a teacher about during our department meetings. We have meetings every day, but one day a week, like a couple of teachers would model lessons, and everybody would just kind of observe, and at the end give like some constructive feedback. And I was thinking maybe for listing versus everybody listing at once, maybe one person list, for probably not the whole period, but for X amount of time, and then we could give that person feedback, or maybe we can pick up something, and maybe you could do 2 people per listing or something. I don't know. I was just thinking, like, if everyone was listing, it'd be hard to see what other people are doing. But if it was just kind of focused on 1 or 2 people, then we could see, maybe take some notes, pick up some things, and maybe give some suggestions. So just a thought. And I will say, as a teacher, that's very nerve-wracking when you're given the lesson in front of other people. But once you get past that, it's really good. As far as to make the business better, like I have a dedicated listing area for my shoes, and that works great. It's my light box. But right now, as I'm moving into clothing, which by the way, I'm loving, like I've kind of got past that point where listing is a chore, where I'm kind of like getting into it. Maybe it's like setting those mini goals daily and trying to hit them. But anyway, as I don't have a dedicated place for clothing right now, so I'm having to go to my kitchen table to do flat lays. I put the white photography paper down, have to bring on all the ring lights and all my laptop, and it's taking me about 10 minutes to set up, and then 10 minutes to take down at the end of the day. So that's 20 minutes a day I'm wasting. That's why I was asking about that light box, because I realize I need a dedicated spot just for the clothing. I think that light box would work great. And the area I want to put it, like right now, I still have some auction stuff from the summer. So I think this weekend I need to get rid of that stuff, like sort what I'm going to list and donate the rest, so I can get that dedicated listing area set up. I mean, because 20 minutes a day, 6 days a week, that's 2 hours of time I'm wasting. Not to mention the light box, the photos will be better. I can probably list a lot faster. So just getting that dedicated listing area, I think, is big time. You're muted, Chris.
Sorry. The light box is big enough that on your left, you can put the laptop in the box. So you could put the laptop in the box with the camera tethered if you want to go that route, or you could just use your phone. There's enough room for the table to the left of you. To the right of you, you could put another mini table. If you wanted to do measurements flat, you could put a small table there, but that's where I pack the item. So I take when I'm done with the clothing item, to my right, that there's a table that has the plastic wrapping that I put it in, and a thank you card. So I could, since the camera's around my neck, pull it up, take the pictures, right? They're instantly in the computer. Go to my left, have the Lightroom preset. Click, all of them get edited. Then you search for eBay, find the item, or you build your draft, upload the photos. If you're really fast, you'll finish doing the listing before the photos upload. So while it's uploading, you could pack the item and then put it in the rolling cart to go put away and have the whole process done. And then, so this is where you are in the box. To your left, like it directly behind you, you could put the stack of things that you're going to list next. And this could work for hard goods too, if you had just a thing behind you, but you could do the entire thing in 8 square feet. I think.
Yeah, that sounds real efficient. And that's the other thing I need to figure out Lightroom a little better. Like I've got it, and I was messing around with editing, but I got to figure out like the presets, how to batch edit them all at once. So maybe this weekend I need to spend some time looking into that.
Deborah, this is another thing. I guess Deborah in the chat said that people in their 70s feel like 40. I mean, I just shared a story like that. A 70-year-old lady bought like normally a young professional sports car, like somebody in their 30s that landed a 6-figure job would buy that car. So I'm not. There's plenty of people that are older that kill it at eBay. I'm just trying to give some encouragement. It does not matter. That's why I think that. But the thing is, regardless of your age, your listing speed does matter. If you're only listing one item an hour, it's very different than someone who's listing 20 items an hour. And it doesn't. It's definitely not age related. Um, let's go. And also, generally, the average entrepreneur in the United States is actually 50 years old. There are people who have worked and now they have some work experience and they started. It's just that, 30 people in the Bay Area invented a company when in their 20s. So it looks like kids are all the entrepreneurs, but not really. Like if you look, you go to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, there's nobody there under 50. Usually, the people who own what I call the real businesses, like people who are like machinists or independent contractors that do all the actual work, the people who do those erection services that fix doors and that stuff is insane. The people who commercially fix garage doors, there's a lot of those companies inside my storage unit, and they bill between $2,000 and $4,000 a day to go and fix people's things. That's like really hard work, and it's extremely useful. Back to my saying in the beginning of the call of everyone try to be as useful as possible. You will make money. Let's go with Mimi. Mimi, can you chat?
Hi, good morning.
Morning. What would be helpful in your business?
My speed, I'm extremely slow, except taking pictures. Taking photos and editing, I'm fast. And the rest, I'm like extremely slow. So I need to work on my speed, and that can improve a lot my store.
I want to talk about something that someone put in the chat. And Mimi, I will get you to list faster. Somebody asked about my aging inventory process. So I don't want to run a sale ever. I just changed my mind on that. I would rather increase the promoted listings and wait. So if something is 30 days old, increase the promoted listings 1% or 2%, because eBay is a fee company. So they make more money when they sell things for higher. And if you look in the sold listings, you'll always see somebody who sold something for too much. I want to be that person. Like I was listening to Grant Cardone. He's like, people overpay for things all the time. Why can't they overpay for all of my things? It's less time, right? So if you pay more for the marketing, eBay will place your item. So I tried this. I had a North Face beanie. I put 100% promoted listings. Okay. So on a $20 item, I would have paid $20 in promoted listings fee plus $2 for the fee. So I would have lost $2.50 on the item. Plus I would have had to pay for shipping. So I would have lost $10 selling this hat. So I started to do some research in North Face jackets in a private browser. And eventually I found my hat. Somebody was looking for a jacket and eBay recommended my hat. Because eBay wants that money. It's not, they're like, they really want to get that huge promoted listings fee. So my new theory is that it's kind of pay to play on older stuff, promote it, change it. The snap judgment of just listed is like when somebody sees, oh, this is just listed, there's a little bit of sense of urgency to buy it. That's, I think, why Poshmark works. Because if you were to tell me that Poshmark would work, but that sharing would work, I would normally think, why would that work? Because if I'm looking for a Lululemon jacket, I'd go on there, men's Lululemon jacket large. This is how I search. Men's Lululemon jacket size large, black. Okay, then sort from low price to high. That's how I shop. But apparently that's not how other people shop. Other people put Lululemon large, so brand size, then it sorts automatically by just shared. And I'm like, oh, here's an orange one that I would have never considered buying, but it's number one because somebody's at home listing all day, and it's all, for some reason, it's on top. So now maybe I buy that orange one. So it works. Recency, it's like recency bias. You know, it's interesting. Ed is asking about fake sales. Ed, what is that?
Those are the ones I learned about from you, where you mark it up 30% and then
Oh.
back down 30.
Yeah, that works. That's in my process.
So not real sales, only fake sales.
Well, it's technically against the law to never actually have the item at that sale price. So you have to, like, I think Cole's got in trouble for this. Everything was $80 marked down to 20, but the item was never actually $80. So it was just designed to be a marketing tool. I think Macy's does this too, because if you go to Macy's, the department store, you're like, who buys this generic item for $80? Oh, it's on sale for $14.99. Okay, maybe I'll get it. But in eBay, if you run that sale, it will run at the regular price for at least like 12 hours before it goes down to the fake sale number. You mean like a fake markdown sale?
Right. I run mine just for like a day or two at the normal price, and I kind of sacrifice those sales and then I knock it down.
Yeah, I like that too. That's what it was designed to be used for.
Right. And it's really, that's one of the first tips I got off of your videos, and it's worked pretty well for me.
You can also, I mean, not everyone just pays more to sell it faster. You could just actually discount the price. And I like how eBay is you can do whatever you want. So as an example, Craigslist Hunter does not do promoted listings at all. He doesn't do anything, doesn't have a store subscription, nothing, just lists it. When he wants it to sell faster, he just reduces the price. Because some people shop like the way I shop, which is just lowest price, done. He just only catering to those customers. But from my experience, the people who are impulsive, those people pay more. I want all impulsive credit card abusing customers. I don't want savvy customers that are like, oh, there's a small scratch, I'm returning this. I want people who are like, I buy it, goes into my closet, never wear it, never look at it again. I post a picture of it, of me holding it on my Instagram. Another package came in today, done. Next package, you know, that's like the ultimate customer. Brittany, can you chat?
Yes, I'm here.
What would be helpful?
I think I can relate to the setup thing, which the standing desk, like right now, I'm at the standing desk, I'm like doing some listing. It does make a huge difference for me, like just not having to sit down, because I'm the type of person that wants to be moving. You know, like I like to be in motion, because if I'm sitting down, I don't know, I guess I'm just too relaxed. I need to be like moving. So the setup is important though too, so you can ship faster, you can list faster, like the tethering thing that you were talking about. I'm going to have to look into doing that, because I think that might be part of the reason why I'm not able to list as much. I think my goal of 30 actual listings, I could do that if I could list faster.
That's right.
So that's
right.
definitely a key right there.
Because how many people have more time all of a sudden?
You don't.
You know,
but it's like Tiana said, I mean, you can get up earlier, but if you could figure out how to, refine the process, then you don't have to get up earlier. Be like,
you can also have somebody do it for you and you don't do it at all. Right? There's true. Like the people who, if you were to own, let's say like a sandwich shop, I love the sandwich shop analogy, because if you own your sandwich shop and you're the only person in there making sandwiches and whatever, like, hard work does not equal the most money. The person that owns 10 sandwich shops doesn't make any sandwiches. And what they do? They sit in an office and look at boring paperwork. They do not lift anything. They don't, it's a different kind of work.
Right.
They're like, you know what, if we use one napkin instead of two napkins, then we can get, better uniforms for the people.
That's so true. Yep. That's why they don't always update their computer systems either. Like they just
Yeah,
stay on
that's
that
right.
old system as long as they can, because that's another expense. I mean, you know.
So one guy that I want to share with you guys is Paul Akers, and I mention him all the time, but I'm gonna put this in the chat. So he likes burritos. So he's the lean guy. So he has 600 products and does 40 million a year. And all of his products are made to order. He's got a shop in Washington where you order something, they make it from scratch and then send it to you. Okay, so he likes burritos, and he went to this burrito shop, and he's like, when I order a burrito, I get the burrito, it's wrapped in foil, it comes in a paper bag, there's a napkin, and it comes with 4 little sauce containers, right? And he's like, no, we're not doing that anymore. You cannot have a burrito truck near me and do this. So we're changing it. We're not putting those little containers. I'm going to show you guys. You ask people what kind of hot sauce they want in their burrito, and you put it in as you're making it. Let's get rid of all these containers. That's BS. You're killing the environment. So now everyone orders the hot sauces directly in the burrito. And for some people, it just gets handed to them, burrito on the napkin, and there's no paper bag, there's no foil if they're going to eat it right there. And he calculated it was like $6,000 in savings for the small business for that tiny improvement, and it was better for the environment. And he's like, you don't need to increase your prices, because people are talking about increasing their prices for Black Friday too. I actually think that that's great, but you don't need to charge over retail. You could have the category is called everyday value. The people who make the most money in reselling are everyday value. McDonald's makes way more money than fine dining. Everyday value is what's up. Yeah, the burrito shop, I wonder how they were able to listen to him. I don't know, maybe he's very persuasive. So at Fast Cap, his company, in the morning, they have a stand-up meeting. Everyone shows up and everyone talks about a 2-second improvement. What did you do in your workspace that improves 2 seconds? So we could probably, implement that into this call here. This is essentially what I'm asking you guys. What would be helpful? That's the first question. What would be helpful? And the next question we can do tomorrow, which is, what did you actually do that makes that faster or quicker? Like, I don't want Brittany to spend a whole day researching cameras and then setting up this tethering thing, and then she didn't list anything that day. Maybe just a small improvement, like I moved my computer, like Sean was saying, from 10 feet away to 2 feet away. And for me, I put the computer in the box with me. It's literally right next to me. So things like that improve the speed. Let's go, Lloyd. Lloyd, what would be helpful for your business?
Right now I'm switching gears, Chris. I was doing a lot of packaging, coffee makers, things like that, buying from liquidations, and so I moved to the clothing. Bought the clothing from you. What I did on my white box, I have a kind of a double desk, and I just got some linoleum pieces that you would put on a wall. White, and put those on the back and the front of the desk. And then I bought a 6x9 aluminum frame that I put the white cover over. And I can hang things there. I can move it to the side of the wall, or to the side of the garage, and get it out of the way. So if I need to do whiteboard, I can use the desk that I set up and that and hang everything from the 6x9. And I've got black on one side, white on the other, so I can kind of be a little creative on that. But I'm really just refining all my processes right now to switch over to clothing. But yeah, I've got quite a bit of inventory. Got all my stickers, labels, poly bags, etc. And now it's really just refining the process. I know what I'm doing. It's just like you said, you gotta kind of save a second here, save 2 minutes there. So that's really what I'm working on. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, improving your processes. This is also important to realize when you are changing categories.
Yeah.
You want to think about, is it more efficient to switch categories, to add a category? Could you maintain it while you continue? Like as an example, I am coaching Sarah Stiles. So shout out to her channel. She had a $2,000 Poshmark store and wanted to add eBay. So in the last 6 months, she grew her eBay from 0 to 8,000 or 0 to 8,000 a month while keeping her Poshmark the same. It didn't dip. So it's kind of interesting because she only has a certain amount of time to share. So sharing is how you get rank in Poshmark. And so she didn't have more time to share. So her sales actually remained the same. It was like she added a department of eBay, and eBay being a set it and forget it. So the main reason why she changed or added eBay, I like added better because we all want to add different income streams. So she's like, I like eBay because I can do a store for the whole store. I can send offers to watchers, all my items, not just one at a time. I don't have to babysit it. And with Poshmark, because the rank is based on what you just recently shared, she's like, as my store gets bigger, what happens is you actually have less shares per item. So she's like, that it was affecting my sales. I had the exact same experience. My closet did similar at 600 items as it does with 5,000 items, because I can't even share my closet one time now. But when I had the 600 items, I could share it a half dozen times. And on eBay, you can just pay for the traffic. You can just buy promoted listings and it goes to the top. On Amazon, you can buy pay per click and people will see your listing. And the more you pay, the better the visibility. So it is interesting. Let's see. People are talking about what do you, Mark, Mark, can you chat? I don't know if you can chat.
What's up, Chris?
What's up? What would be helpful in your business?
Well, the I see that the processing time on the photography, the big bottleneck is the white background. I was wondering to see if what's that photo room?
Yeah.
Can do batch processing. So while I'm doing my draft, that's working on the background, and that will cut my time like significantly.
It can.
Okay.
It can do batch processing. I do batch processing in Photoshop. It's about, depending on your computer speed, I think it's 4 or 5 seconds of photo.
Okay.
So
no, I use Lightroom, but
it's the same.
I'm not getting the pure white, and I'm kind of finicky about that.
Okay.
And
which setting are you using to remove the background?
I don't know. I just add to the negative 25 on the shadow, and then a plus 25 on the light, so I don't lose any of the color.
Man,
and it's working.
You owe me a cheeseburger. You don't have to do that. You can just go to the item attributes, and there's a button, remove background.
Is this on Photoshop or Lightroom?
I'm sure Lightroom has it. Let me see. There's no way that they don't have. Let's see. Lightroom. Oh, you can't. Well, I'll double check.
Okay.
But that would be worth getting Photoshop to get the button that says remove background.
Yeah. Yeah. With that, because I'm still thinking to see if Photo Room does have the badge. I don't mind shelling out that for the Pro.
Right.
Just to get rid of that bottleneck. That bottleneck
what does Lightroom
sucks.
cost?
I have the Photoshop and Lightroom, and it cost me 20 a month.
Same.
So, but the 69 that photo room is asking for is not that bad. If I can have it just run in the background and then while I'm doing my draft, then that'll be
Oh,
perfect
Photo
for me.
Room, the app.
Yeah.
Yeah, Photo Room and Pick Tap Go. Both of those programs work.
It's the same thing as it scans it. Well, I don't have to actually like pick out the item.
Oh no, you have to
and then
pick
the
the
back.
item.
Yeah, because I know in Photo Room it does it. It does the processing automatically where it just
Right.
scans it on its own. That's
That's
what I
right.
like about it.
Yeah.
And that'd be perfect.
Yeah. The only thing is that Photo Room and Pick Tap Go aren't on a computer. So if you do your listing from a phone, it's great.
Oh, I can transfer the files from my computer to the phone fairly easily and fairly fast. So it's okay. I'm willing to make that. Like just compare to the process of how it takes for one by one to do it, and I would rather that's fine with me.
Okay. Yeah, I love this conversation. Photo Room, Pick Tap Go, Photoshop, Lightroom, whatever works best for you is gonna be what's awesome. I think this is the people are worried about the election. I'm getting a lot of emails about it. I would say that just if you're focused on being helpful, you don't have a lot of time to think about the election because it's like not that helpful for you to think about it because there's things that you can do in your community that needs you. So, or your store or your family. Like just focus on that for right now. I think that what is going to happen because of the election is that whoever gets elected will make changes that cause things to happen. So you just pay attention to what is happening around you. If I think if Trump wins, there will be more business opening. If Biden wins, there's going to be different kinds of things that happen. Both of those are going to affect us somehow. But if you're just selling it, if you have an online store, you're actually not even considered a small business until you have 15 employees. You're considered a micro business. So we don't even qualify as small businesses. This is like the smallest potato people in the world of business, and that's great. I think right now the world of what we do is I'm going to call it multi-passionate, which is meaning you cobble together 4 or 5 different kinds of income. That's like the future. People aren't doing one thing for 50 years anymore. Like there's substitute teachers, there's nurses, there's like, for example, Jared builds ambulances. Maybe he scales that down. It's a stressful job. Maybe he does, 2 a year instead of 1 every 2 months or 6 a year or something. And that's just part of it. It's less stressful when it's a project based and not career based. So that could be your, those of you that are thinking about selling at Costco, or maybe you want to buy a box from Tiana and try wholesale or something. The key is like, don't lose your other projects when you build up a new one. Keep them all. It's the plate spinning. Keep it spinning while you get something else. And that's important. Like Brittany's 30 listing goal. I love that. So if your 30 listing goal drops because you are testing a new camera, don't do that. Take longer. Andrew, do you want to chat?
Hello.
No, you're good.
Hello. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, what can you do to improve your store?
Actually, this week I'm working on doing like a lot of social media stuff. I realized having kids and not understanding social media platforms, because I think like all of us, we're all on more than one platform. So we have to kind of get exposure from everywhere. And I'm realizing that like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all these are great places to draw attention to our store. So I've noticed too, like if you're only getting 50 views a day on an item just from organic eBay traffic, but you can get 300 views by being on Instagram, TikTok. I still haven't even, my son's trying to show me TikTok and I'm like lost. So I'm going to work on that this week. Right.
So this is really important. Eventually, we want people to not have to rely on it. So as an example, I'm helping an eBay seller right now, and he's like, I want to be sufficient without eBay. Help me build up my Shopify store and the marketing and Facebook and Instagram so that eBay is just bonus. Right now I'm so worried because he's like, if I lose my eBay account, I lose 100% of my income. I don't want that to happen. So we're finding that for his items, Mercari does well, but the big advertisers for his category are on Facebook. We haven't figured that out yet, but we are starting to get traction on Instagram. He's getting 50 or 60 views a day on Instagram per item. That's just as much as eBay, like you said.
Yeah.
But TikTok, that's insane. Like I was talking to Hustle at Home Mom. She has like a shipping tutorial. It has like 1 million views already. And she just started.
Well, like
So
you
it's
were
like,
saying, like you can't use the excuse, like I'm 41. I can't use the excuse that like
yeah,
I'm 41. You know, like
yeah,
people that are older are on Instagram or on, you know, Facebook, know the ins and outs, know the nuances of
very
how
true.
to operate and how to, you know. So I do have a question. Does anyone know how do you post a live link on Instagram, or can you not?
You should be able to do live from the stories.
Oh, really?
So if you go to Instagram and yeah, on the top left, there's a camera icon. When you click that, one of the options is live.
Oh, okay.
And I think this is the, I didn't know how to use Instagram when I first started this. It's like Facebook, I'm the same age as Zuckerberg. He invented it. It hasn't been around that long. It's been here since 2004. Is that right? When Facebook was invented. So like I used it as soon as they allowed it to be outside of Harvard. My college had it and I jumped on it. And I think around, you guys should all watch the movie. Is it the social dilemma? Whatever that Netflix documentary is on social media. But I noticed like in 08, 09, they switched to newsfeed. And since then, it's been a shit show. It's been ridiculous. Like so much information, and it's no longer just your friends. So anyway, everyone have an awesome day. Don't worry about the election. Focus on improving your store. Actually, before we go, let's do Jeannie.
Hello.
Hello. What can we do or what would be helpful in your store?
Right now I'm working on kind of what you guys are talking about, the pictures. I used to use PhotoFuse, but it doesn't do good. So I got a new program and I'm working on that right now. I find I'm wasting too much time editing the photos.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, way too much time. I mean,
do you want to text me your photo setup later?
Yes.
Okay, because I want to see that setup and see if we can, because I don't think I need to edit my photos actually, and I have the same box as you.
See,
so
and
I want to see what they look like.
I didn't think I did too, but I don't know. Maybe I'll text you.
I want to change I think the position of the lights.
Okay.
Because you don't need to edit photos.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I mean, my camera's perfect.
Yep.
And I'm wasting too much time. So I will text you and then we can go from there. That's, I think, my biggest time waster right now.
Okay. And I do want to talk to April because she's a ray of sunshine. April, hopefully she can chat. I should call on you first. I never see you.
Well, good morning. That was very nice. Thank you. How are you?
Great. What would be helpful?
That I could find which white background photo app you were using, because I've gone through 3 and they're all pissing me off.
Okay.
I have joined, let me just list them all off right now. No one has to specifically answer. Because I do have positive things. In about a week or 2, I should be able to walk you through my process, like start to finish. My obstacle is, I also joined, it's an old challenge, but I joined the Jungle Scout 100 books a week.
Okay.
Which is fine if like all the books you have are already scanned in inventory. But I have a bunch, I put it to the group, like I'll have a hardback and only the paperback is listed. And I can't find a simple guideline or tutorial on how to do an original listing. 4 million videos on how to scan things into FBA. Yeah, I know how to do that. But I just would like, unless this is what I meant to do now, is create this little guideline. But that's my little obstacle, because I have like 67 books stacked up that can't easily be listed in. And then that's it. Everything's actually pretty good. I changed my lighting setup too. What was the question? I'm off on a tangent.
What would be helpful?
Oh yeah, finding that guideline and just getting a better white background app. Really, it's kind of simple.
Let's see.
Because I've gone through, even just while we were talking, I've gone through background eraser, I've gone through ID photo thing, in frame. I hate them all. I hate them all.
I like Photo Room.
Photo Room, okay.
Photo Room, and I also like Pick Tap Go.
All right, I will
And
do those.
And I love Photoshop, but it's like a pain in the ass. It's like more difficult, but it's more powerful. So again, I think that not editing photos and speed is key, because for especially books.
Right. And I just need to, like, my white background was crumpled. So I really just want to, just get rid of that real quick. And me manually doing it, is not a time saver, and it never looks good. So I agree.
All right. Everyone have an awesome day.